Hello, welcome to this tutorial. My name is Paul and it's so good to have you here. Directory applications are some of the most lucrative applications you can create. Yeah, they are very simple and easy to manage. If you are a solopreneur or you're somebody who is just getting started with building products for mobile or for the web, it is very important that you start something as easy as a directory website, especially if you do not have a lot of technical knowledge. The reason being that starting and managing the directory website, it's very easy. And then you can watch my other tutorials so you can understand how data moves from one place to another, or how to create a very wonderful design. But I'm going to show you the core of creating your own real estate listing application. Of course, my name is Paul Okudua and I help and teach you how to build scalable MVPs with no code. If you need someone to talk to about your MVP or you're building one currently, feel free to reach out to me and ask for the help that I can give, and I'll definitely help you the best I can. So let's get started. So like every MVP that you have in the market, the first step to creating an MVP is planning, right? If you plan well, you'll definitely, end well. You'll definitely be able to execute well. So you just have to plan. So sometimes some of us, we want to plan and we go to a tool like Figma and we begin to plan, which is super good. But if you are building for the very first time, I really do not advise you to start from, just start designing from Figma and drawing all the, drawing everything, right? And in case you're wondering, why exactly should I build a directory website? There's a video above, right, that I've created showing you why you should build a directory website and why I think that building a directory website at this time, it's one of the best decisions that you can make, because people are looking for curation. People are looking for curation, and it's so good if you're able to create a whole lot of things and give it to people in different subcategories. Right, so let's start from Miro. I'm going to show you how everything pans together. So normally when you're designing a directory website, you will see that it's majorly going to be block upon block together. So let's say, for example, we're starting with this block, right? We're starting with this block, and this is there's a screen here where users get to either authenticate or they just get to see listing. So it depends on the business model that you want to use. Somehow, I think you should just allow users to see every listing in your application rather than telling them to authenticate, because people who are looking for homes, they just want to see pictures, very beautiful pictures as fast as possible. So we're going to have these homes. It's going to be filled with houses. So we're going to have this. It's going to be filled with a whole lot of houses, right? That's what we're going to put here. And we're just going to add, so this is going to be our home page with houses. And when you are trying to create a mobile application, right, you're thinking, what exactly do I need to add here? What exactly do I need to add here? And what kind of information do I need to collect? What kind of information do I need to collect? What kind of information do I want my users to see? Those are very important aspect of your application, especially if you're looking at your real estate listing application as a two-sided application. When I say two-sided application, I mean there are sometimes where you want to create a real estate application where you want the user to be able to come to your application and put their properties in there. Or sometimes you just want to be the one who will put the properties in there for users to come and see. So it really depends on the business model that you are using. So you have to decide how many persons or how many users do I want to have on my application. So that means if you're going for one user, that's just you. Users don't have to do anything. If you're going for two users, it means that will be your user, the person who's going to come and look for properties, and the person who's going to come and list their properties, probably real estate firms or real estate agents. I kind of do really think that you should go with a multi-user, because if you have two users, you'll be able to charge real estate companies for listing their properties on your mobile applications. And also, if you want to do this, you want to focus on a particular type of real estate. doing a whole lot of real estate verticals or real estate categories, it's going to increase the number of persons you are able to reach, but it's going to reduce your effectiveness. It's going to reduce your effectiveness. So first we have this homepage right here where people get to see listings of properties. So let's create our listings. So we have houses. So we have so let's take this upwards. So we have house number 1, we have house number 2, and then we have house number 3. So this will be home number 1, home number 2, and this will be home number 3. You know, like I said before, your real estate doesn't have to be for residential apartments. It can be for a whole lot. There's this lady in Norway who did a listing application, a real estate listing application for open spaces, open spaces that people can go. And it was just awesome. She ended up selling it to another company who were interested in doing very similar stuff. So it doesn't have to be home at all. So now when users click on this home, they want to find out a whole lot more about it. So that means you need another screen. You need a different screen entirely. We're going to pick the screen and put it here. You need a different screen. And this screen itself is going to be a property detail screen. That's what this screen is going to be. It's going to be a screen for property details. So let's get the, okay, let's see. Okay, this one I'm going for, not this one. So here you need a property detail screen. So we're going to tag this as a property details screen. So because people need to be able to find what they're looking for, find more details about what they're looking for. And then we're going to create a shape, a line, and this line will go from here all the way to this. So on the property details screen, you're going to see the same property here, but it's going to be a whole lot more details. So you don't want to hit too many details in the, you don't want to put so much details in front of the person who's buying. And when you're thinking of a property details screen, you want this screen to contain some sort of a call to action that users can click. And when they click on that call to actions, they can take another action that you want them to take. It might either book a call, it might either call the owner of the property, it might be send an email. So it really depends on how you want to do it. So we're going to put another shape here. So let's just assume that this is the button and this is going to be our CTA. This is going to be our CTA right there, and we will give it a color, green, and this is going to be our CTA. And then these are the two major screens that you need when you're creating a listing application. And one major thing also, you need a search function. So you need, users have to be able to search, right? They need to be able to search because sometimes you might have like 1,000, 2,000 listings in your mobile application. So you don't want users to keep scrolling down all 2,000, but you just want them to be able to search, right? And then then you also need another screen, and that screen is going to be for authentication. So you need a screen for authentication. So this is going to cover your login and your sign up screen. So you need authentication. And in here, this is where you're going to have your login and your sign up. So your login and your sign up can be on the same page. It doesn't have to be on different page entirely, right? So we have login and sign up. So these are the major screens. So you need a way for users to authenticate, you need a way for your users to sign up, and then you need a way for them to view all the properties, see details of the properties, and then take actions. Things like log out, yeah, of course you need them, but it's something that you always have in your application. You need settings. That's if you need settings, and you need a way for the users to see all the houses they're very interested in. But those are very secondary features that you need in your application, right? So these are the major that you need, and also I think you might need, what else do you need? And not really, but I think for real estate application, this is what you need. And so this is for the user side. If you have if you have agents working with you, then you're going to need another type of application for agents, right? You're going to If you have agent working with you, then you're going to need another aspect of the application for agents, and that means you're going to have another screen. You're going to have another phone screen right here, and this screen is going to be for agents. This is going to be for agents to list their property. List your property, and you definitely know what it's going to contain. It's going to contain listing details. That's what it's going to contain. So I'll add a sticky note here. It's going to contain listing details. And so if you're listing your application, what do you think? What kind of information will you require? Of course, you have to think of it like a now. If you're listing a house, what kind of information do you want the house to give you? So you think you need to get things like the address. You need to get things like the house description. You need to get things like the title. So because it's an ad, right? So you need to get stuff like title, house description. You need to get things like the owner of the apartment. You need to get things like cost. You need to get things like supporting documents. You need to get things like basic amenities, things like how many showers, how many is there a pool, things like that. Information that will allow other persons to make very, very informed decision about the apartment. So this is definitely going to be a form. And once the user fills this form, it goes to you and then it's pending. And then you go through the same details. And if you like that detail, you can go ahead and approve it. If you don't like it, you'll go ahead and decline it, telling the user, this is the reason why I'm declining the application. Not because I don't like you, because I don't like the way you're listed in my application. Right. So if you understand all of this, let's go to FlutterFlow, where I'm going to show you how you should build a listing application. So first thing first, we go to FlutterFlow, and then we're able to create new. And this is something that I like with FlutterFlow, is that you can begin from an old project. So if you have a project that has anything to do with listing, you can begin from that project. But if you don't, you can always go ahead and create something new, right? You create something new, or you can start from a template. You can start from a template. FlutterFlow has this template. It's a marketplace, but we don't want to do that because we're just really interested in learning how this thing works. So I'm going to say list aside, as I'm going to call it, and it's going to ask me for some very, very basic option. Do I want FlutterFlow to configure all of these things for me? Do I want Inner to configure it for me? Those are some of the questions that's going to ask you if you go through the prompt. So the first thing that you want to set up your Firebase. That's the first thing you want to set up, because right here, you need to add your Firebase ID. So you can create your Firebase here directly from FlutterFlow. I really don't like hard work, so I'm just going to create it directly from FlutterFlow, and I'll choose my Firebase project region, and I will sign up with the Google account that I'm going to use to create this FlutterFlow project. So meanwhile, you can have one FlutterFlow project, and you can have one FlutterFlow account, and you can have multi-project inside if you want to. But it's literally free creating all of these projects in your account. So while this is happening, you have to go to Firebase, and there's a few things that you still have to do, because you have to enable storage, you have to enable your database, just a few things that you have to do in Firebase, right? If you're a solopreneur who's just getting started, FlutterFlow can be a bit intimidating when you see all of these things here. But as you begin to practice, as you keep on going, you would see that it's not as intimidating as you think. The goal is not to build a finished product. The goal is to take what you have in your head, put it in the market, and begin to learn. That's what MVP is all about. It's all about learning and making very, very informed decisions as you learn. That's what you want to do. That's the mindset that you want to have. The mindset is, I'm gonna take what I have in my head. I'm gonna take that market gap that I've seen, I'm going to translate it into a solution with FlutterFlow, and then I put it in the market. I think I see how users respond to it, and then I will keep on making changes like that. So if somebody tells you that you need to build all your project, you need to spend 10 years trying to build your FlutterFlow project before you launch it into the market, I'm not sure it's good. Well, I think what you majorly need is a product in the market that is well done based on your ability, and you just keep getting feedback from people, because feedback in itself is the lifeblood of every project that you're working on. So we will click on go to console. This is Firebase if you're not familiar with it. If you want to learn more about Firebase, you can always go to my channel and you click in there. You will definitely see something very good. Okay, that particular project has not been registered yet. So this is the reason why I don't really like using FlutterFlow because it takes a whole long time to do that. So once you're done with creating this with FlutterFlow, the next thing you will do is to generate config file. It's just something you should do. It's just something you should do to sync up your FlutterFlow project with what you have in Firebase. It's going to take probably a few seconds for you to generate this file. Probably in subsequent tutorial, I will just move through this part and go directly into building stuff with FlutterFlow. So if I come here, I should be able to see the new project. So I'm going to refresh. Should be able to see new project here in Firebase. Let's find it. It's called listing. Yeah, list the site. This is the new project. And then I'm going to go to Firebase. Okay. Not fire. I'm going to go to storage. Yeah, storage. And I'm just going to enable storage because you're going to be storing a few things in your application. So it's very important to enable storage. To enable storage, to use storage, upgrade your project spinner account. So we'll go like this, upgrade, we'll say select plan, and this is going to be our Bliss plan. So when you upgrade into the Bliss plan, always put a limit to how much you intend to spend. It's very important that you do so. Don't just leave it like that because Google can be very, very brutal. I don't want to create a new Firebase account. I'm just a minute. So this is the one I want to use. I don't want to create a new one. So like I was saying, Google can be very brutal. Put a minimum account. If you're just playing with it, like you're just playing with it or you're just learning with it, put something very, very tiny that you would not regret losing if something happens to your project. When I mean something happens, somehow you might create your project in such a way or create your database in such a way that it eats up your credit. It eats up it keeps on, you keep on accruing a whole lot of cash, and Google will definitely send you an email and say, hey, we think you're spending so much money, it's time for you to pay us. So you have this production mode and then you have the test mode. We'll stick with the test mode. There's not so much difference with test mode and the production mode. It's just that your test mode have an end date, right? And your production mode doesn't have any. So if you're just testing and, running around, it'd be awesome for you to use this mode. So let's just go ahead and switch on email authentication right here and click on sign-in method. Say authentication, get started with authentication, and click on the sign-in method that we're going to use as password, and we will say save. So that's majorly all you have to do here. And you come back here, you can decide to regenerate config file in order for you to sync everything that's happening in your application. Right? Hope you've seen value in this so far. And if this is your first time on my channel, feel free to subscribe so we'll be friends, right? So let's go to our project and click on our database, and we're going to create a collection. So the first collection that you always create with FlutterFlow is always called users. Yeah, users collection. There are a few things that you should know. It's either you're going to be doing the common case like users, right? Collection, something like this. right? Or you're going to be doing users underscore collection. So you need to tell yourself, ask yourself, what way am I going to be naming everything in my database? So once you pick a naming convention, camel case, or you want to use hyphen, it's going to be like that for a very long time. Okay, camel case or an underscore, and that's what you're going to stick with. So I'm not gonna create a new, I'm not gonna allow FlutterFlow create a collection for me. So I'm just gonna go with email. So I need the user's email. I'm gonna collect it one way or the other, and that's gonna be a string, and I'll say yes. I need their phone number. I'm going to collect it too. And then I need their bio, especially if the person is an agent. The person is an agent, I would need their bio. And so somehow you can always make this information about the agent as a sub collection if you want to, but we're just going to stick with a major collection called users. Right, and then we're going to say create a time, and that's going to be date time, and we're going to say modify time or date. So if a user decides to switch their profile, we can always modify it. So we're going to say profile photo. This is not very important for everything. It's mainly important for the agent who's going to be having their images or their listing on your platform. And then the last one we want to do is the address. So we're going to have address of the user, and we're going to have address of the property. So majorly this is going to be the agent's address. So let's go to our data type, and this data type we're going to create address. So this is a custom data type in FlutterFlow, and here we're going to add the first thing we're going to add is house number, and that's going to be a string. Then the next one we're going to add address, street address, and this is going to be a string. And next we're going to have city, and this is going to be a string. And then we have zip code. Zip code also is going to be a string, because I've seen some zip code that's a combination of both. It's a combination of both words, both alphabets and numbers. And lastly, we're going to have state. Yeah, so we're going to have state, we have address. The reason why I didn't put country is because I'm not sure if you want to create a listing application and make it different countries, especially as a solopreneur, because it's a very hard thing to do. So let's go to our database, and then we would say address, and click on data type. We would say data type, and then we would say address and click yes. So now we have that address as our data type. So next we're going to create the property. So this is going to be the property collection, and the property collection, of course, is going to have a name or a title, property name or property title, and then we're going to have property description. Property description, it would go for a string. And then we're going to have property value. So this is the amount, property value, or we can say asking price, and then we're going to have a double. That's going to be asking price, and then we would say selling price, and then this is going to be a double. And then we're going to have images, property images, and this is going to be an image path, and it's going to be a list, because one property can have a whole lot of images, and you just want it to be a list. So now we have the name, we have property description, we have asking price, we have selling price, and then we have images. So I think these are the basics, but you can add other things, documents, document types, lots of others, but to just keep it short, we're just going to do it like this. Okay, so when we come to the application, what exactly do we want to see? We just want to see a list of something. That's what we want to see. So we'll come back here and we can use a list right off the bat. So we can put a list in here, right? This is a list of something, and that something is going to be a container, right? This is just a list of houses, nothing else. It's going to be a container, and then that container is going to have so many things inside. So because that container is going to have so many things inside, we're just going to put in a column, right? So a list itself is naturally scrollable, so we don't have to think if it's scrollable or not. It's naturally scrollable. So we're going to put in a column inside, and then we click here. One of the first things we want to put in a column is an image, right? We put a column, that's going to be an image. For the container itself, we will take the height away and we'll take the width away, right? And for the image, we're going to make it go end to end. So we take the width away. So we take the width away and we'll give it a height of probably 220. And after putting the image, we want to add text to it. And this text is going to be the title. This is going to be the property title. And then we want to add a little bit of description to it, or somehow we might not really want to add that. So we'll just go with the text and the image. So the image that we're going to collect will be the first image of the property. So we'll go right here and we'll choose a title medium. That's what we'll choose, and then we'll click on this container. We'll put in a bit of item spacing right there, and we'll put in a bit of padding right there. So let's just go 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8 all around, and that's going to be our home page. So we're not trying to do something really complex. We're just going straightforward, right? And then we will click on our list view in order for us to create a whole lot of properties on the home page. We'll click on our list view and we'll click right here. All right, we'll click right here and then we will fetch the query. But the thing is that if you're going to be adding search to it, so let's say, for example, we're going to be, if you're going to be adding search to it, like, let's say we're going to be adding search to it, right? I want to show you something that you want to do, how you would fetch this data. Let's add an entry to it. So I made a test entry. Yeah, let's add a test feed to it and give it a padding of 888 around. And let's imagine that users are going to be searching with this feed, right? Users are going to be searching. I just want you to pay attention to it. So users are going to be searching. So if users are going to be searching, there's something that you want to do so this search is very, very fast. So you click here and you go to the home page and you click on you go to the home page, you click right here, add query, and this is going to be query collection. And you're going to have all the properties. It's going to be list document. And then you're going to order by maybe asking price, maybe selling price. But I think we missed that because we didn't add a date to it. So normally you could order by date created and a whole lot more. But we're just going to skip the order for now and say ignore empty features. And we're going to say probably feature on null values and say confirm. So now this data is already on this page. Right? This data is already on this page. And if you want to take it a step further, one thing that you want to do is that you want to cache it. So you want to cache this data, right? You want to cache it so that every time a user jump on this page, it doesn't reload over and over again. So a good way for you to cache is that when this user jump on this page, you enable query caching and set the scope, if it's going to be app wide, if it's not going to be app wide. And so you do that so that you don't have to keep reloading this data over and over again. So that's something that you want to do. So once we do that, we come to this list view and then we click on this and we're going to generate children in the list view. And we'd say we want to generate the children from this item, from the data that we generated before, and we'd say child property, right? And we say save, so this, you can see what's going to happen. We're going to have a whole lot of images right here. So here, this is going to be our image, and this image is going to be the list of image from the property. So we're going to go child property that we just queried right now, list image in path, and we're going to go item at index, and it's going to be the first one, and we'll say yes. So the reason why we're picking item at index, the first one, is because we want to pick one image. We can't display all 5 images right there. So now we're going to click on the property title, click on the child document, and this is going to be the name of the property. So now we've succeeded in creating the home page, and then we will click on this, and what are we going to call this? A test feed. So we're going to call it search. This is the search right there, and then we click on this list view, click on the properties. So we're going to say filter list items, where item in the list, get document, where conditions, item in the list, name is equal to what item in the list is equal to the item in the list property name. So if you have a name that is equal to it, it's just going to filter it straightforward, right? So that's how the search in itself it's going to work, right? And then we say save, right? Okay, so let's duplicate this. I'm going to duplicate the home page for the sake of time, and this is going to be property detail screen. So this is going to be the property detail screen. So now that we're on the property detail screen, a few things that we need. We just need this container and nothing else. So I'm going to move this container upwards. Don't worry, I'm just going to move this container upwards and delete this one, and this app bar, I'm just going to change it and make it like this. This is going to be detail screen. That's going to be the detail screen, and then I'll come back here, and that's just what we're going to do. So we come back here, and then this is going to be the title, and then we have a description and the rest. But before we're able to do that, we need to pass the data from one screen to another one. So we need to click on the home page, come back here to this container beneath list view, and then we're going to click on action, say add action, and then we're going to navigate to the property detail screen, but we're going to have to pass a parameter. So we're going to pass this parameter right there, and this is going to be a document. So I'm going to pass it as a doc. So I'm going to say property doc, that's what I'm going to call it. And then the collection is going to property, and I'm going to say confirm, and then I'll say pass, and it's going to be the child property item. That's what I'm going to pass, just like so. Then when we come back to this property detail screen and we click on this image, if we click on the image itself and I click on the path to the image, I'll be able to get those images. But instead, we want to make this image a slider instead. So we're going to add a slider or a carousel. So we're going to add a carousel. This is going to be an image carousel. So I'll click on it. This carousel right here. So I'm going to add an image carousel right there. This is it. this carousel, I'm going to click on it. This carousel here, I'm going to just click on it, and I'm going to click on the data. Click on the data point. Click right here, and this is going to be the property doc. It's going to be get document property, and then it's going to be images. We don't have to do anything anymore. Confirm, and we'll say property images, and save. Right, so now we have all the images that we need from the carousel. So we click on it, and we only need to configure the first property, the first carousel. That's all we have to do, because now we are auto regenerating it. So we'll go like property image item, and that's going to be our item. So here we can delete all of this carousel, and that's all we need, because our image is auto generated now. So we take this one away, and then now we have this carousel. Take the width away, and let's leave the height at 250, which is fine, and the width of the image, and go to the carousel. Yeah, the width of the carousel is 100%. The height of the carousel is still 30, slightly larger than the image. And so now we have the image. Let's go to our carousel. Scroll down. Initial index is 1. Okay, so I think that's fine. So now we will click here, and this is going to be our image title. It's going to be property. It's going to be, let's just remove this. This is going to be our image title. Property document. Now property, yeah, and it's going to be our name. So we're going to put name as the default. Right. For the top screen, we're going to go there and remove it. You know, we copied, so we're just going to remove it right here. Let's see if this still works. Yeah, it does work. So let's duplicate this again. So duplicate this, click on the name, and this is going to be a body. It's going to be a body medium, and we'll click on it, and it's going to be, we'll choose our property description, and add description in here, and say confirm. Then after the property description, we will need to add an asking price. Yeah, we need to add an asking price, and let's duplicate this, put it in there, and this is going to be our asking price. It's going to be our selling price. So some real estate agency, they put an asking price and they also put a selling price, and you get to cross the asking price. So that's something that you can do, right? So I'm just going to put this 50, and my changes, I'm going to say number format. I'm going to say custom. I'm going to say format as a currency, and then I'm going to put the currency symbol of the United States, and I would say confirm. I can turn the primary color of this to something else if I want to. It depends on what you're looking for, right? So this right here, it's going to say back. So we have that back action already. And I think the last thing I want to do is to put in a contact, right? So I think we missed that in the user. So we can put that in the user, so that every time you're able to contact the user, right, the person who listed the property, or we can just say contact link. So probably we can allow them put their WhatsApp link in here, contact link, and then it's going to be a string, and then we would say yes. So that's going to be contact link, and then let's put in our CTA. Let's put in a button. It's going to be acting as our CTA, and then we'll take it to the left. So this is quite a lot. Contact. viewing. So contact for inspection. And so when you click on this contact for inspection, we'll click right here, add item, and just type URL right here. So this will mean launch URL, and it's going to be from variable, and then it's going to be from the property document, get document, and then we'll say contact link, and that's going to be it. So when they click on it, they will go outside the application to contact this person, or you can do it in such a way that they are able to contact this person inside the application, right? So I think this is a whole lot to cover at this time, and probably we will I would create a part 2 where I will create the agent section where agents are able to list their property and they are able to manage their property. So I just wanted to show you how this works, and I hope you're getting value from this so far. Thank you very much for watching. You have a comment, if there's a specific feature you want me to add to this app, just let me know and I'll definitely help you do that. But without I'm not going to go without adding data to the application and running it. So I'm just going to click on this to manage my data so I can add data to it and run it. I'll quickly add I'll add a few properties and I'll come back to you and I'll let you know what's up. Yeah, I think we missed a few things before adding a few properties. We did not add login and sign up, which is super terrible. Forgive me. So I'm going to click on this. I'm going to add a plus sign and create a blank. So this I'm going to call this login. So I'm going to call this login, or better still, I'm just going to call it auth, right? And this is just going to be an auth screen, and I'm gonna add a page view. So with a page view, you can log in and you can do log in, log out, stuff like that. So I'm gonna click on. I'm not gonna have any show indicator on the page view, and I need only 2, which is so this is gonna be the page view for login, and then this is gonna be the page view for log out. So page view is like having multi-page inside a single page. That's what page view is. So I'm going to enter a test. I'm going to just put in a test inside the column. Like I said, I'm not doing so much. So I'm adding the test, and my test here, I'm going to put a width of 300, which is good. And this is going to be my email. This is going to be my email feed. Let's make this work. Where is it? It's going to be my email, and I'm going to, my hint, I'm going to be email also, and then I'm going to come down here and say the keyboard type is test, right? And that's what I'm going to do. And I'm not going to say password because the next is going to be password. So I'll duplicate, and the next right here is going to be password feed. Don't worry, I just need to duplicate it and add password. That's all. So this is going to be password. And for my column, I'm going to add an item spacing of 12. I'm going to add an item spacing of 12. And then for my test feed, don't worry, I'm going to leave it like that. But if you're designing this, you would have to make sure your test feed is a whole lot more beautiful. So for my button, I'm going to put it that way. I'm going to say login, right? This is my login. Okay, I think this is sign up. Sign up. So I'm going to put sign up. Sign up right there. And all the things that I can add, I can duplicate this test and just add something else. So I can duplicate this test and say profile name, right? And that's all. I'm gonna go down here and say this is gonna be profile name, or I can simply say name, right? And this is not gonna be password. So I'll say name, I'll say Jumbo. And coming down here, It's not going to be a password feed. It's just going to be a normal feed. And so we have email, then we have password. Don't worry, I'm just labeling. That's what I'm doing. It's going to be password. Okay, so this is for the sign up, and then for the login, I'm just going to duplicate this. Going to duplicate this and just stick it up here. And then for the login, I'm also going to do the same thing. Page 1, and then I would come here. I would do the same thing. This is just going to log the person in. I don't want to spend so much time on this. I don't want to bore you out. So this is just going to log the person in right there, and this is for email. It's going to be email, and I'm only capturing password and email. So this is going to be password, and we would say this is a password feed, and then we'll add a button to it. So this button is going to say login. And of course, we'll add some white spacing, which is very good. And we have we're going to name our test feed appropriately. This is very important. And then we have password, which is very important. And then this is our login button. Login. And then this is our sign up button. This is our profile name. This is our password. And this is our sign up email. This is our sign up password. So it's just very important to label all of this appropriately, because when you're using a page view, you're using the same widget to do everything that you want to do. Okay, so I see page name auth is not allowed. Okay, so let's find another thing. Auth sign up. Okay, so we need an authentication action, but let's go here and look see if we've allowed ourselves to authenticate with our application. So let's go authentication. So no authentication, that's where we're going to find it. Entry page will be our home page, logout page. Don't worry, we don't have a logout page, but yeah, this would be the sign-in page, right? Oh, authentication, Firebase, of course. Yeah, I didn't do that. Authentication, Firebase. So let's come here and authenticate with Firebase. So now we say Firebase authentication. Login, and we say email. We say email right here. So this is our login email. Login email. This is our login password. Login password, and we come here and we say login email, and it's going to be our login password. And let's go. We will click on plus sign, add action, and we say navigate to homepage, and go right here and say navigate automatically. Okay, that's fine. So let's go back again. Let's go back again and click on logout. Sign up. So this will be add action, and then we'll go to database, and we'll go to Firebase auth, and then we'll go to logout, we'll go to database, Firebase auth, and then we'll go to create account, and then we're doing email, and then we're doing sign up email, we're doing sign up password, and don't worry, there's no confirm password right there. So we're just gonna add the email, the sign up email, and the password, and then we're done. We'll click right here, add action, and it will navigate to the home page. So I think we're good. Action not defined, what again? So I think we're good. We are free now to log into our application and add images because for a property, we need to add them as a user. So in order for us to be able to tie property to a user and get more information about that property. So I'm going to go add properties to that user and I'll come back and I'll let you know how this things. I'll let you know and then we'll do a demo and we'll see how it's working now. I'll see you then. So let's go ahead and test our application. I'll enter a test email, test user 24247@gmail.com. And my password, I'm gonna say password, but you don't want to use this kind of password in your application. You always want to use a request function to tell the user to add an alphabet, a number, a hash, a non-number or alphabet type of character. And it has to be 8, 8 and above your number before you okay the person, right? So once the user click on sign up, they go all the way to the homepage where they're able to see the directory and they're able to see the display. This is the directory and users can click into it and then they can see what exactly they're buying. This is a carousel with a whole lot of pictures. This is our carousel with a whole lot of pictures and then the user can click on the content for inspection to be redirected outside the application for content. Be a WhatsApp link. It could even be you bringing up a bottom sheet that shows um, that shows a form, a form that you're able to send to the owner of the application, or it could even be a chart. So once you say contact for inspection, you could open a way for both the owner of the property or the agent to chat with the person who's requesting more information about the property, and that's going to be awesome. So hope you enjoyed watching this tutorial, and if you have any feature that you think I should build or add, feel free to leave it in the comment section and I'll definitely do well to add it. And also, if you're looking forward to building your MVP with FlutterFlow, feel free to click on the link below, schedule a call, and then we'll definitely talk about your product, your idea, and how we can bring it to life. Thank you very much for watching. Do make sure you subscribe so you get notified when I create a new video again. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in a different video.